and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, good evening. I've literally just come back from a track session, so my legs are toast. We've got 2 minutes to go before the Tour of Watopia Stage 5 group run, 6.3 kilometres. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello, Paul Cottrell says, the kit is nice, I unlocked it earlier. Okay, so we do get kit. Good. Oh, hang on a minute, we're talking about something different. We've already got the kit on, haven't we? Tina Beard, I'll go with you. We're going about 9 kilometres an hour for the start then. Steve Milne is going at 9 kilometres an hour. Tim Salt, hello. Neil Messenger, hello. Clive Finnemore, hello. Get to it. Just completed Tour of Watopia Run Series. Now just the last bike one to do tomorrow. Dreading it. That's why I don't do the bike anymore, you see. Right, Marcus Holmes. Yes, I'm in Group B, Marcus. I'm going very slow. Like I said, I've just done a track session, so I'm just out for an easy recovery run, really. Nice, slow, 9 kilometers an hour to start with, and then maybe I'll build up a little bit as we get later into the run. Yeah, nothing major tonight for me. Neil Messenger says I need to do stage 2. Oh right, some people have missed, yeah, because this is stage 5 now. This is the last stage, so there's nothing else. This is it now. So make sure you get them all done. I think there probably will be a week of getting it back. If you've missed any of them, getting back on it and doing a few of the ones from before. I hope so anyway. There usually is a week of that. But yeah, stage 5 is the last one in the Tour of Watopia series. So it's all about the running league now. Steve Milne says my legs are tired from the weekend's kilometres, and Buenaventura says hello to everyone. Okay, 9 kilometres an hour for me. I'll see if we can find Tina and Steve Milne and join them for a couple of kilometres. Just chill out time. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. I'm watching Facebook chat, YouTube chat, and Twitch chat as well. So hello to you guys watching on the stream. Rob Harrison says, I have to admit I ran outside this evening. I hope Zwift don't ban me. Well, the thing is, you only get banned if you run more outside than you do inside. If you do more on Zwift than you do outside, then you're allowed. That's fine. Once you start running more of your runs outside, then you do get banned or your subscription goes up. Oh, Marcus Holmes has started us off with something controversial already. Marcus says, thoughts on the big soccer news? Well, where do I even start with that? Coming from somebody in Virginia, talking about soccer. Tina and Kim, I'm sorry, but somebody from the United States of America has asked about soccer. I feel obliged to start talking about it. Andrew Van Hook says, good evening, have a great run. Right. Well, now he says you'll have to explain how soccer works first. Well, let's forget about soccer as a sport. Let's forget about football. And you just have to think that Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, all the big football clubs, soccer clubs in the UK are like any other business around the world. And the owners of that business want to make as much money for that business as possible. Or, to put it more succinctly, they want to make as much money for themselves out of their business as possible. And often, that is at the expense of the employees in the business and the customers of the business. And that's the way it's gone, basically, this weekend, with the announcement that the 6 top footballing sides in the UK or in England are to join 6 or 9 sides from across Europe to form a European Super League, which is going to be a breakaway from the world governing body, FIFA and UEFA, the European governing body. And it's all about money. That's all it is. And whilst the upside of it would be that, you know, I've always thought it would be interesting to have a league just like the Premier League, you know, where British clubs, English clubs play each other every weekend. I've always thought it'd be exciting to have a league where European clubs play each other every weekend, like they do in rugby. And unfortunately, the way it's been planned looks like it means a lot of people in the lower echelons of the sport are going to miss out. They're going to miss out on lots and lots of revenue. Marcus says, so can Liverpool still play in the Premier League or not? It's undecided. So they've only just made this announcement, and that means that a lot of people will now have to decide what their response is going to be. initially, there was a statement said that if this Super League goes ahead, that the players in those leagues would not be allowed to play in any other league or any cup competition. They would be banned from playing for their country. So at the moment, that is still a very big possibility. But whether it does happen or not, it remains to be seen. Richard Burrows says, "You not in Group B, not in Group A tonight?" No, I'm running in Group B. Nice, easy, relaxed run, Ricky, because I've just been on the track outside. So although I didn't put my full effort into the track, because I am kind of starting to just taper off this week for my half marathon on Sunday. I still went moderately hard, so I'm definitely not up for doing anything too hard here. So just a relaxed run with Tina and Steve at 9 kilometers an hour at the moment. We'll keep it like this for at least a couple of kilometers. Kim Salt says, "My tour of Watopia Stage 5 short run yesterday had rain and lightning in downtown." Wow. Well, honestly, it's so kind of warm. It's not warm, but it's been so sunny and relatively warm here. It almost feels like summer. The past 2 days has been glorious here. Okay, Kim says, "How is Victoria doing after her jab?" Well, interesting, because what would have happened tonight is that I would have gone on my track session and Victoria would have done a live stream on her own like she did last week. But this morning she woke up and yes, after effects of the jab started to bite. So she has been very unwell. I say very unwell, really just knocked off her feet all day today. So she didn't really feel able to do a live stream tonight. So I said I would go and do my track session and then come back and do this session. Paul Cottrell makes a very good point. It was snowing here last week, and yeah, it absolutely was. On one of our sessions outdoors last week, it actually snowed. Which is mad, isn't it? Alfredo Mendes says, "Good afternoon. I miss the races, but I like to see friends running." Well, we've got a race on Friday, the Zwift Running League. We've got the relay race, 6 kilometres. So everyone does 2 kilometres each. Buenaventura is going to push it tonight. He's going for top 10 in the short run tonight. Nice one. So Kim says, she hopes Victoria feels better soon. I'm sure she'll probably start to feel better tomorrow. It only knocked me out for a day, maybe 2 days. So hopefully Vic will be back on her feet either tomorrow or the day after. So 1 kilometre done, nice and relaxed. We'll stay at this speed for at least another kilometre and a bit. Let's stay till we get to 4 kilometres to go. So 5.3 kilometres to go, and we'll stay at this speed until we've got 4 kilometres to go, and then we'll speed it up a bit. So I hope you're all well. Let me know how your weekend was. Did anybody do any long runs? I know the South Downs Way 50 was on here at the weekend. So that was on Saturday. I would have loved to go and spectate, but spectating was not encouraged. And then yesterday, I was live streaming. You might have seen some of it. Live streaming a track meet at Worthing Track, where I've just been this evening again, and which seemed to go very well. I managed to get some live drone footage, which was really good. Tina is okay, good. Or are you just saying okay to speeding up at 4 kilometres to go? Is that you're going to come with me, Tina? More than welcome. I was thinking of just going up to 10 kph. Or do you want to do 9.5 and then 10? Maybe what we'll do is 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11. How about that? So in 1 kilometre's time, we'll go up to 9.5. Tina Beard did 9 miles of trails yesterday, lovely. And Kim Salt ran 8.6 miles on Zwift. Longest distance ever on Zwift, wow, brilliant. Well done, Kim, good job. 8.6 miles on Zwift, nice job. Marcy Gorman, a guy passed me in Paris today. 2:37 minute miles. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not happening, is it? Okay, so Steve and Tina are happy with my suggestion of picking it up to so 9.5 with 4 kilometres to go, 10 with 3 kilometres to go, 10.5 with 2 kilometres to go, and the final kilometre at 11 kilometres per hour. You can do that, Steve. We've got that. And Paul Cottrell did a paddleboard taster session at Titsworth Reservoir yesterday. He says the water was fresh. And then he cycled up to Jodrell Bank. Gosh, I remember going to Jodrell Bank on a day trip on holiday. Many years ago, when I was about 6 or 7 years old, I went to Jodrell Bank for a day trip. Jodrell Bank, if you don't know, is an Earth station, kind of massive satellite dishes. Very impressive to look at. Clive says well done to Kim. Clive ran tour of Watopia earlier, as far as I can remember. Saw something flash up on my phone. So we have about 31 minutes left, and we're running under the tunnels, the glass tunnels, under the sea on Watopia. So this is classic Watopia, this is. Oh dear, Clive cannot do the Film My Run 500 in the morning. He's got to work. Well, we might let you off if you've got to work, Clive. But it's also quite funny that you've got to work. Yeah, don't forget, join us in the morning. I assume it's still at the stupid time of 10:35. Let's just double check. Yeah, there we go. 10:35 tomorrow, UK time. Film My Run 500. It's only 4.2 kilometres. You can do that. 4.2 kilometres. There's me joining. Press the little plus icon there. So that'll be tomorrow morning, 10:35. 500 metre climb. Set your treadmill to 12% incline, and come and join me in the morning for a little climb. Daniel says, why do you prefer kilometres per hour to miles per hour on the treadmill? Well, I don't. I prefer kilometres per hour over miles per hour for anything, outdoors and indoors. It just so happens that this treadmill is set at kilometers per hour. So hang on. So if you look down there, as far as I'm aware, I'm not able to change that. That is kilometers an hour. So I don't know if I can change it in the manual. You might be able to if you look in the manual and go on the Techno Gym app. You could probably change it to miles, actually. I don't know. However, I work in kilometers. I prefer kilometers. Kilometers make a lot more sense. We are a metric country here in the UK, although we are a bit confused about it still, but technically we are a metric country. So, Daniel says, I changed my run to miles per hour. Easy to change. So yeah, you can change it. But yeah, no, it came set up as kilometers per hour, and I've left it because that's how I work in kilometers per hour. I mean, I can just about convert to miles per hour, but I find it easier to work out pace and speed in kilometers per hour. When I'm doing a race outside, on my watch, I have my speed in kilometers per hour as well as my lap pace. So I don't have time or distance. If I'm doing a race, I don't have time or distance displayed. I only have kilometers per hour at the top, and underneath I have my lap pace. So each kilometer, how fast I'm going for that kilometer. So I can pace myself. So if I'm doing, say for instance, I'm doing a marathon and I want to do sub 3, I know that I've got to run at 14.1, 14.2 average kilometers per hour, average pace, and my laps need to be 4 minutes and 16 seconds per lap. So I just have that on my watch, I keep it going like that, and as long as I keep that going, I know I'm going to hit sub 3 by the end. And so that's how I work. Marty Gorman says, I'm not even getting into miles per hour, kilometers per hour. My Soul TT8 reverts back to kilometers per hour. What, you mean if you put it on miles per hour, it automatically reverts back to kilometers per hour? I like it. See, it knows what's good for it. Okay, guys, we are at 4 kilometers to go, so let's bump it up to 9.5. 9.5 kilometers per hour, everybody. Or Tina and Steve. So we're just going to do a gradual progression from here on for the next 4 kilometers. So Marty has printed out a conversion chart. I mean, I can tell you all the distances. So, 5k is 3.1 miles. 10k is 6.2 miles. A half marathon, 21.1 kilometers, 13.1 miles. A marathon, 26.2 miles, 42.2 kilometers. 50 kilometers is 31 miles. 100 kilometers is 62 miles. 100 miles is 161 kilometers. So I can do those conversions. In terms of speed and pace, I find it more difficult to work in miles per hour or miles. So I think for a 1.5 hour, if you want to do a half marathon in 1.5 hours, I think it's 6.50 per mile. Something like that. Paul Cottrell says, my Soul F63 has quick buttons that only make sense in kilometers per hour. Kim Salt says, my Soul has buttons that only make sense in miles per hour. Obviously, though, Kim in the States. The States is still embedded in the imperial system. and there's very little sign, unless you are a runner, where they do have 50-kilometre races and 100-kilometre races and 5Ks and 10Ks. So they do have to work in kilometres per hour sometimes, or they do have to work in kilometres sometimes. In general, I think the states are still well embedded in the imperial system. Okay, so a 3-hour marathon. Marcus Holmes says yes, you have to do 6:52 per mile for a 3-hour marathon. And then he asks me a question which I am refusing to answer, because I know, even though he hasn't commented, I know that Paul Deering is always listening. So I'm not going to say a word. Level 11 for Steve Milne. Steve Milne has graduated to level 11 of Zwift. Well done, Steve. Only 10 to go to the top level now. No, I didn't take the bait, Marcus, I'm sorry. I'm too wise to it now. Oh, I'm wise. I know what's going on now. Daniel P says, I suppose at the end of the day, it's what you feel comfortable with. Absolutely. Yeah, if you are used to miles and you're happy to stick with miles, then you stick with miles. And I certainly used to work in miles. These days, I just find kilometres easier. Make more sense. Right, here we go, up to 3 kilometres done now. So another 400 metres and we'll be pushing the pace one more time, up to 10 kilometres an hour. Yes, that's another interesting point that Marcus makes, actually. If you are running on Zwift, in terms of XP, in terms of levels, it makes more sense to run in kilometres because you actually get more XP points, more experience points for running in kilometres, marginally more. So if you do want to level up, if you are very keen to maximise the number of points you get, and if you're running in the Tour of Watopia, I would suggest you do like to make the most of your points, because we're getting double points for this run. Then yeah, running in kilometres will pay dividends. 20 minutes to go of Tour of Watopia Stage 5. This is the final stage through the underwater tunnels. Marty Gorman makes a very good point. Marcus says 6:52 per mile to get a sub 3. But yes, you always run a bit further, don't you? Certainly if you don't stick to the racing line. And so he finds that running at 6:48 per mile is a sensible option. Yeah, I mean, I would tend to try and run a little bit quicker than the... So for me, for running a sub 3 would be 4:16 per kilometre. Although I think officially it's about 4:14 per kilometre you can get away with if you ran the exact racing line with no stops at all. Right, guys, up to 10 kilometres an hour now. So 3 kilometres to go, and we've stepped it up to 10 kilometres per hour, 6-minute kilometres. How's your heart rate, Steve? I'm sure Steve can manage this. It's no problem for Steve. And I'm not even going to mention Tina. Tina's perfectly capable of this. whale? I didn't see the whale, so we must have done. Because I think we're way past it now, aren't we? We've turned left, haven't we? So. Okay, Tina's heart rate is 145. Steve Milne is 143. Good job, guys. Keep it nice and easy. See if we can keep it below 150. Rob Harrison asks a very interesting question. Often causes a lot of controversy. And he says, do you have a view on a running coach? Maybe using one soon. Well, not really. I mean, I think for me, I can't justify the expense of paying money for a running coach. I'm not an elite level athlete. I think, personally, for me, I think I'm able to manage my training to get perhaps not the very, very best out of me, but good enough that I'm satisfied. And I think anything more, and I think it might not be enjoyable, or it might impact too much on my family life. I'm quite happy managing my own training. But that said, if you think that maybe, I don't know whether it's a lack of discipline or just you feel like you need somebody else to motivate you, or somebody else to give you some new ideas, then a coach can be very valuable. And if you really think that you've got potential to go and do a lot better than you currently are, if you feel you've reached like a plateau and you don't think that you are improving as much as you feel you ought to, and you've run out of ideas, then a coach could be just exactly what you need. So that's my view on a coach. I'm not going to get one. I don't think I'll ever get a coach. But I know Tim Gross is he's 54. One of the other kind of admin on the Zwift Runners Facebook page. He's recently started working with a coach again. So, you know, decide if you think it's going to be worth it and go for it. Neil Messenger says, I'm doing stage 5 longer run tomorrow. Kim Salt says, I see the Film My Run video 5K is on Friday, late again, still late. Yeah, I might message them actually and ask them to just move it back manually anyway. So me saying try and keep the heart rate below 150. Tina's saying not at 11 kilometers an hour, I can't. Well, let's just see. We're not there yet. We're gonna increase the pace, at 200 meters, and we're gonna go up to 10.5 kilometers per hour. So we're over 4 kilometers in now. Nice and relaxed. Just trying to keep the heart rate low. Steve Milne and Tina Beard comfortably with me at the moment. Steve, in fact, a little bit ahead. Okay, up we go then, 10.5 kilometers an hour now. So 2k to go. And we're on the road to head up to the Epic Com. We're not going to get there. 10 minutes of running to go, just over. Rob Harrison is still not quite sure about that really close-up camera angle. Does it show a bit too much of my age, Rob? Is it better to be a bit further away so it doesn't show how much I'm hurting? All the wrinkles next to my eyes, the grey hairs. At least it provokes commentary. That close-up camera angle provokes people to say something. Buenaventura got 8th. Well done, buddy. Fantastic work. So Ace Ventura has finished the Tour of Watopia. Now we know it's not a race, but it's always good to have a bit of racing, and Buenaventura went for it tonight and finished in 8th position. Good job. Steve Milne's heart rate is 147. Doing well, Steve. Keep it there. 1 mile to go. 1 mile left. 9 minutes. It feels psychologically harder because we're going uphill in Zwift. And I don't know if you've heard the interesting news about a new update coming, hopefully this week. If you want to, soon you will be able to get rid of all the on-screen real estate. So you'll be able to get rid of everything on screen and just have a clear screen. So that's coming in a new update soon. Mr. TCNZ. Is there a way to pronounce that? Mr. Tuckners? Mr. Tuckners on YouTube says hello. Says hi, actually. Hi to you. Hello if you're watching on YouTube. Hello if you're watching on Twitch. More than welcome to comment if you would like. Niels Hoffman says, what about next Friday running league? Is it a team race? Are the results from last race official and who wins? Okay, so yes, Friday's race, it will be a team race, a relay race. It's a 6 kilometre race. There will be 3 runners, each running 2 kilometres each. Now, if you want to go to the WTRL website, you can look at the current state of play in terms of individuals who got what results last week in the race last week, but there are no team results just yet. As far as I know, I haven't seen any team standings just yet. Maybe by the weekend we will have the first league placings. Right, 200 metres and then we'll go on our final increase of pace up to 11 kilometres an hour. And it looks like we're going to finish somewhere over that bridge there. Lovely views. 6 minutes to go.
Ride on!
McLeod, thank you for the ride on. Okay, up to 11 now. How's that heart rate, Steve? 1 kilometre to go. Let's see if we can keep it just below 150 if we can. Rob Harrison says, I think my team keeping up with the Kenyans have done very well, although I'm just the 4th person, the bag man. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I know that the Noble Pro team, Jarvis Bear, they did very well in my race, the Atlanta race, on Friday night. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're not top of the league. Although there was Johannes Grimm's team, they also did very well, so it might be that his team are top as well. Okay, Steve Mills' heart rate is 153. So let's keep it below 160, Steve. Just breathe and relax, breathe and relax. Head up, shoulders down, arms moving forward, not side to side. Lee Burchard said, I'm going to miss the Tour of Watopia events. Good spirit during the events. Tick off the run and the bike series today. Well done, Lee. Excellent job. Laura Parkin. Hello, Laura, on YouTube. Hi, Stephen. I'm currently watching YouTube as my friend Ricky is running. Keep up the good work, guys. Okay, so Ricky from UK Ultras. I think he is in the A race, is he? Is he running the long run? Yeah, I'm just having a chill out today, so I'm sorry I'm not running with Ricky. Right, Tina's gone to the orange zone now. With 600 metres to go. That's all right, guys. Just keep breathing. Doing well. Minutes to go. Another reminder, 10:35 in the morning, the Film My Run 500 metre climb, 12% elevation on your treadmill, but it's only 4.2 kilometres, so I'm sure you can cope with that. So come and join me in the morning, or whatever time of day it is for you around the world. Lee Burchard's heart rate has gone into the red zone just watching. He's not even running. Nearly done, guys. 400 metres to go. Just over 2 minutes. I can see the orange, not the orange, the purple beacon at the other end of the bridge. That's where we finish. Harrison is red from too much sun today. Well, yeah. Worth it though, isn't it? Getting out in that beautiful sunshine today. Lovely track session this evening. The sun just going down behind the houses as we ran around the track. Gorgeous it was. 1 minute to go. Neil says the only time I can do the Film My Run 500 is when I'm on holiday from work. Well, that's fine, Neil. If you join us anytime you're on a break from work, that's great. Clive can't do tomorrow because he's working as well. We'll let you all off. Well done to Amy Green, by the way, who I can't see running tonight, but she did 10k yesterday. Just over an hour for her, so well done to Amy. Yeah, and Rob says, well done Tina and Steve, great running. Good job, guys. Just coming to the end. 6.3 kilometres, Tour of Watopia, stage 5 is now finished. Well done everybody, great job. Yeah, so Kim Salt makes a very good point about everyone in the USA, particularly those on the west coast of the USA. For them, 10:35 a.m. UK time is about 2:30 in the morning over in California. So yeah, do you know what? I might let you guys off. You guys in California and Colorado and Utah and Oregon and Washington and Nevada, you guys are let off tomorrow's Film My Run 500, okay? You don't have to get up, it's fine. I'll let you off. But the rest of you in Europe and the UK, get yourselves out of bed. It is 10:35, so it's pretty late, really. Let's be fair. Here we go, look. Tuesday, the 20th of April, 10:35, 4.2 kilometres, running along Van Top, and that will be tomorrow morning. So we'll see you then for that. And otherwise, tomorrow evening we'll do something very, very easy and relaxed. I am now tapering. I have a half marathon on Sunday, so I'm not doing anything hard this week. It's easy running. And not very many miles this week, nothing spectacular. So that is it from me tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the chat, guys. Well done, Tina and Steve, for a nice little progressive at the end there. Okay, so Tina Beard says, on a plus note, 11 kilometres an hour used to be red zone for me, now low orange. That's really, really good, isn't it? Heart rate topped out at 155, says Steve Mill. Again, very good. We're going in the right direction, guys. That's really good. Clive Finnemore is also tapering this week. What have you got coming up, Clive? I'm going to Goodwood, the scene of my last marathon, which I'm not going to talk about. But I'm going back to Goodwood Racecourse, Goodwood Motor Racing Circuit, should I say, to do a half marathon on Sunday. And my goal is a PB, obviously, but also specifically I'd like to get under 1 hour 25 minutes. Whether it's in the lap of the gods, whether I manage it or not, I don't know. I'll be totally honest with you. If that's what I'm going for, and if I don't get it, I'll have to come on here and say to you I didn't manage it. But we're going to try. We'll see what happens. And Niels Hoffman says, is there another league following for the best of this season 1? Well, this one is a 6-week series, so there's 6 races. So we've had race 1, so we've got races 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 to go over the next 6 weeks. That'll be the end of season 1. They will obviously judge how well or badly it's gone and see if they're going to do another one. So it's up to us to attend, to give them a good start, and then it's up to them to get the technical bits right to make it all work. Hopefully there will be another one. I'm assuming there will be another one. They've done relatively well on the racing league for cycling and the duathlon league, so there's no reason why it shouldn't continue with the running league. Steve Milne says good luck for me. Rob Harrison, 125 would be awesome. Clive Finnimore is doing the cross. Oh yes, you're doing that north to south Cornwall run, 38 miles. So good old nice middle distance ultra for Clive there. Or actually, we could call it a short distance ultra, couldn't we? Yeah, short distance ultra is 31 miles to probably 50 miles. So yeah, 38 miler. For Clive Finnimore at the weekend. Ricky Burrows says, can't talk much as it's difficult now. So Richard is in the long run, and it sounds like he's going for it a bit in the long run as well, working hard. So well done, Ricky. Good job, buddy. Your friend messaged me a minute ago. I don't know. Hang on a second, let me find out who it was. Oh, I've got to go back pages now. Laura Parkin it was. Your friend Laura Parkin messaged me. So she's obviously watching. So I apologise to her that I'm not running with you. Okay, that's me over and out. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the Film My Run 500, and then tomorrow evening for something dead easy and slow. Okay, take care. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.